Hey Guitar Ninjas, in this video we're going to have a look at muting. There are two main types of muting, palm muting and percussive muting, and in this video we're going to cover percussive muting. So percussive muting is exactly what it sounds like. It's to make a percussive sound with our guitar. This is to make it sound more like a drum hit than a guitar tone. So this is the act of resting on the strings so they don't ring, but not squeezing hard enough to make a sound. That gives us this sound. As you can hear, it's almost a bit drum sounding. Percussive muting is actually used all over the place with guitar. Most common places you would have thought about it though is within grunge music and heavier genres. So Nirvana would have used this a lot. If you take Smells Like Teen Spirit, one of the most famous songs of the grunge genre, it uses a lot of these. We've got two plays, then a load of mutes. If we played that without those mutes, it would sound very lacking. So this is Smells Like Teen Spirit with mutes and then without. And without. As you can hear, it's lacking something. So let's look at these mutes in more detail and then go through the exercises. So the first thing to be aware of is how hard we press. If I don't touch the strings at all, we get this. If I touch them too hard, I get this, because it's sounding the notes I'm squeezing. But if I rest on the strings just lightly, I'm not squeezing down at all, then I get that mute. First exercise we're going to look at has just got a few notes on a single string with a mute. So everything I'm going to play is on this 6th string. So I'm going to play it open, then I'm going to mute it, then 3rd fret, then mute it, 5th fret, then mute it, then 7th fret. And we're going to repeat that, getting yourself used to playing a note, then muting. Notice how I'm letting the rest of my hand come flat in front of the note to make it quicker to get to the mute than trying to just mute with this one finger. Okay, so let's take this to the next stage. We're now going to do this with power chords. So we're going to play the open E and 2nd fret on the A string to play that first power chord. These two notes together. Then we've got to put the hand flat to do our mute. Then 3 and 5, and then mute. Hopefully you already know your power chords. Now we could just relax that power chord shape and mute with the same shape, apart from the E. But we get very close to potentially catching harmonics by accident, whereas the whole hand seems to reduce that. I find it easier to do the power chord with a little finger if I'm going to mute, because then these fingers can just come down. I find it easier than moving the whole hand. So if I do it moving the hand, and then I'll do it using the little finger for my power chords. Now using the little finger, can you see it's less movement? Now I'm not advising to always use the little finger, we want to get used to our stretch, but it's a good exercise to be able to do. Okay, now we're going to try the same thing, but this time using 3-finger power chords, so we're going to get that extra octave note in as well. So I'd give those exercises a go and get a bit of practice before we move on to the next one. So now we're going to have a go at putting a bit more musicality into an exercise. So we're going to take this order. I'll play it first and then explain. So this exercise, we're playing an open power chord, followed by 2 mutes. Then we're going to do the same, so it's almost like 2 triplets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're still working in 4/4 time. So that gives us 6. So to get the 7th and 8th beats, we're just going to play 2 more open power chords. Then obviously we've got the 1 for the beginning of the next loop as we go through. So it's effectively 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Have a go at practicing that, and once you're comfortable, we can then do that same pattern, moving up the power chords we were using earlier. 1. So that's all good for rock and grunge, but what if we want to use these percussive mutes for Ghent? Now, there's a few things we've got to understand. 1, you're going to want at least 7 strings, maybe 8 or 9 these days. You can obviously take a 6-string guitar, put a thicker gauge string on and down tune a lot to get our lower pitch, but the one thing we need for Ghent is that lower pitch. So the main thing with Ghent when we're muting is we're going to use the open string and muting and not much else. Ghent is fairly simplistic, we're using zeros and mutes, and that's about all. But to help us get that more Ghent tone, if we actually pick with the plectrum near to the bridge, it really helps that punch through. It also helps when Genting to try and think about how you want it to sound. Anybody that's seen any Stevie T videos would know that he tends to think of it as d-d-d-gent, d-d-d-gent, gent. Kind of works. The spelling of Ghent is with a D, so it kind of works. We've got d-d-d-gent, d-d-d-gent, gent. So d-d-d-gent, d-d-d-gent, gent, 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 d-d-d-gent, d-d-d-gent, gent, 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 d-d-d-gent. So that's how we can Ghent using our muted notes. We can full power chord that and break it up, but it becomes a bit more ring out. Starts to get a bit messy. So that is how we can percussive mute. There's a few exercises there. Have a go with them. Hopefully you'll enjoy them and be able to use them. Like I say, there are a lot of genres, not just Ghent, grunge and metal that use them. There are plenty of genres that do. They're just more common in these heavier styles. Give them a go, and if you've got any questions, as always, let me know. Tab for this will be with this video, so it'll either be in the description or around this video somewhere, so you can always have a look at that if you want to go through these exercises whilst reading it.